a lot of us are stuck at home, a lot of folks experiencing anxiety and stress. Why do we go to high carb, high sugary foods to help us manage that stress?
It's really interesting. There's like science to it. So what happens is when we're normally anxious or feeling just down, our serotonin levels tend to be down. So what happens is those carbs and those sugars actually give us a little serotonin spike. So we really are craving it. And we're looking to it as comfort foods where it's actually boosting our mood for temporarily. The thing is, it's very short-lived though. So that's why we don't like to use that as a way of treatment, because then you ever heard of like having a crash, like the sugar crash?
Yeah.
That's what happens. So like you have that initial boost, you're like, oh, I feel great. This donut is good. Like, and then all of a sudden you're like an hour later, you're like, damn, I shouldn't have ate that donut. And then people think about like having the guilt that's associated with it, because some people, if they're trying to lose weight, so not only do you have the crash from just coming down from all that sugar, but then you also have the guilt about what you ate. So that's just no good.
So, two questions. One, kind of explain what serotonin is,
Sure.
and then explain what can we do instead of eating all the donuts to
Yes.
help us make sure our serotonin levels are healthy, especially right now during this anxious time.
Right. Right. So serotonin is basically the happy chemical in the brain. So it's the part of, it's one of those, in those transmitters in the brain, the chemicals that help us to feel good, to feel like we're able to manage stressors. It's just really, that's the basic explanation of it is it's just really the happy chemical. And so what happens is that with wanting kind of these cravings and wanting these donuts, it's really just, it's science. It's like, oh, okay, my serotonin levels are low. It's almost like your gas tank is low. My light just came on. Okay, I need to refuel. Oh, there goes a donut. And I'm going to reference donuts a lot because I like donuts. So you're going to hear that a lot.
I think you'll be hard pressed to find anyone who has not had a donut in the last few weeks.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So you're going to hear me reference that, but it really can be any type of carb. Like it could be bread, it could be cookies, anything.
Waffles. I've been eating a lot of waffles.
Waffle. Oh my God. Yeah. And I had a lot of pancakes. I had pancakes on Saturday. So yeah, so it's basically just, it's almost like we think we need this to refuel. And it's not the healthiest way to refuel. That's the thing. So things that we can do, and I'm doing this myself. I never used to be a person who worked out at home. I just could not do it. I needed motivation of people next to me in a gym. But exercise really is a game changer. Like it really does make a difference. So, and it's a double win. So not only is it helping to boost those serotonin levels, like we ever hear people say that exercise boosts endorphins and it makes you feel good. That's what they're referring to. So it's boosting those happy chemicals in our brain, and then it's making us feel better. So with the exercise, we're not only boosting our mood, but we're also boosting our health, physical health. So if we're trying to kind of battle off this quarantine 15 that everybody's referring to, we can go ahead and exercise so we can fight that. We can rebuke that quarantine 15.
I love that. I love that.
Once again, I'm speaking for myself. I rebuke you. Yes. So that's the thing. Is the exercise is great. Meditation is great. And just doing things to just make yourself feel good. This is the time that we really have to take care of ourselves. As parents or at work, we're always used to kind of running in that cycle and taking care of others or getting these things done or finishing this to-do list. This also is a blessing in terms of it's making us slow down and making us kind of realize what makes us happy. And so if you like watching a certain sitcom and just sitting at home and relaxing, and that brings you joy, go ahead and do it. I have people who are getting coloring books, adult coloring books. You will never believe how much help that can do. So just like anything that brings you joy and just peace is really, really important now.
And I want to talk about this meme that has been going around. This message has been going around on social media, essentially saying if you're not being super productive right now, if you're not creating the next billion-dollar idea, then you lack discipline and you are lazy. What is your thought on that post?
I hate that post. Yeah, I've heard it. It's like, so now you realize you never lack discipline. You never lack time. It's just that you lack discipline. Okay, the difference is we have all this time, but guess what? We're in a public health emergency. So this is a little bit different. So this isn't like, oh, we're just sitting in our house and we're like off in a cabin relaxing. We could write that book we wanted to. No, we're in a chaotic time. So I really want people to give themselves a break. You can't do everything now. Like I was supposed to clean my closet from 2 weeks ago and I still have not done it, because I wanted to watch Golden Girls when I got home. So it's all about taking care of yourself and take the pressure off. I really don't like that meme. I've seen it twice and it's just all about, oh, you don't have the discipline if you're not starting a new podcast or if you're not figuring out a new career plan. No. Let's just get through this. That's all. Let's get through this. If you happen to do something that you realize you enjoy, if you happen to find an interest, that's great. But let's just get through this, especially for those parents who are homeschooling right now. I don't know how that's taking up a lot of energy just by itself and adjusting to the kids being at home, or the parents who have the college kids at home right now who are virtual learning. So I just want us to get through this one day at a time and take care of each other instead of having these to-do lists, because it's not realistic.
I love that you explain that and kind of give all of us permission to just take a deep breath right now, because at first when I saw that meme myself, I was like, well, wait, maybe I'm not doing enough. And then I realized, oh, no, time out.
Good.
This is different. This is, like you said, we're not on a vacation. There are families who don't know how they're going to feed their children. There are people who are losing loved ones. And so to put this kind of like added pressure makes it feel even weightier. But I'm glad you're sharing, that we don't have to feel like we have to be the next Bill Gates in this time.
No, it's just not realistic. It's like trying to work where there's fires going around all around you. Like, we're all trying to just protect ourselves right now. And we can't focus on getting that room painted or working on that home project. If you can get to it, it's wonderful. But if you can't get to some of those things on I call it kind of the universal to-do list. Everybody has those things that they want to achieve. It's okay to put the list up for right now.
There's a spectrum of what everyone's dealing with. We have folks who have lost their jobs and have financial stress. We have folks who have lost loved ones and are dealing with that type of stress. And we have folks who are still employed, thank God, still having income, but they find themselves still feeling anxious during this time. Is there any type of, universal or piece of advice that you can give to all of us to help manage the stress and anxiety we feel right now?
I had posted about this before, but a lot of people are noticing that a lot of their anxiety is not necessarily coming from the threat of the virus. It's coming from the information surrounding it. So a lot of times, for them to be watching news all day or watching, because it's really easy to get sucked in and watch it all day. It's okay to take a break from it. And it's okay to take a break from certain people, because everybody responds to stress very differently. There's people who catastrophize and say, the world is ending. This is the worst thing that could ever happen. And then there's those who try to find humor in it, or they try to minimize it. So if the way somebody's responding to the stressor is making you more stressed out, then you need to kind of separate from now and just really kind of quarantine yourself from those who are anxiety provokers for you. Because a lot of my patients realize that a lot of their anxiety wasn't really coming from the fear of contracting the illness. It was more the fear that they've been hearing from everybody else. So their stress was coming from other people rather than the fear of the science of the virus.
Was there anything else that you wanted to share that, maybe has been coming up in your conversations with your clients, or something you think is important for folks to know right now?
Yeah, the really important thing is just focusing on your health, because what happens is a lot of people are focusing on everything that's going on around them. And I just wanted to kind of give the advice that it's okay to take care of yourself right now. That's it. If you remember anything that I said, it is okay to take care of yourself right now. Find what brings you peace and try to incorporate it into every day. We are in a high stress situation right now, and the best way for us to respond is taking care of ourselves so we can manage everything.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Dion. I really appreciate this. This was awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.